I did that on purpose. That's tripod down.
Oh, okay.
That's how you block that. It sucks. It's not fun, but it stops you from going over.
Now my neck would do like that.
I didn't like it, but.
The next guy I'm gonna roll with is Angel Flores, and I'll be tagging him in the post when I post it. He's very much becoming one of my favorite guys at jiu-jitsu, and he's a really like physically imposing guy, but he knows his stuff, and he knows the techniques he uses well enough to explain them to me after he does it, so that's really cool. And yeah, cool dude and whatnot. So you know, I'll go ahead and see if I can't fast forward into this, but I might have to stop the recording and then go back into it. But that just explains who this guy is. He's really good. I've only rolled with him a few times, and but he's quickly becoming one of my favorite rolls and one of my favorite guys to train with. All right, here we are. I actually have a 145 to 150, somewhere around there, heart rate, basically, starting. And then we're just shooting the breeze a little before we start. 143. We slap hands, kind of like bowing, just show of respect. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cut an angle with my head, and then now here he is, he goes into a turtle position. He has a tendency to bait me into that so that way he can sweep me over. So I pulled him in, tried to take his back, and I had it for a minute there, but I ended up having to guard, which is good on his part. Here he is almost tripoding, and now my heart rate's down to 130, so constant. I'm trying to keep myself calm, but yeah, so I'm trying to cut an angle and trying to just see what I can open up. So I was trying to grab at anything just to see what he'll do. So I tried to grab at a collar choke. So he puts his back here a little bit, and I thought about going for a windmill, but I ended up going in for a knee shield. So that actually bloodied my nose a little bit. I went for a windmill sweep, and he moved in really fast, and then this is what's called a head and arm choke. He had that in so good. So usually one arm is choking your artery on this side, and then his shoulder and arm is choking it on this side. But if I shrug down, I can relieve the pressure here. Well, he had it so tight that even though I shrugged, I still was pushing in to that artery. He had it so good. So basically though, when I went up for that sweep where I sat up into him, what basically happened was he was baiting me into that, but then it kind of becomes a little bit of a chess game where it's like, I know he's baiting me into that, but maybe I can either get the sweep or get the guillotine, but he just got it in. He pressured in too fast, too hard, too fast for me to do any of that. And then this is what he tends to do. He tends to go back and show what he was focusing on or what he was doing. And that's one of the things I really like. I don't mind when somebody stops to teach me something, but I like it better when they finish the roll and then go back to teach me something. And then we basically were just talking about what I just said, is where I felt like he was saying I should have brought my arm back around, basically for like that guillotine choke, but he had that so tight. I don't think, I mean, that's what you would want to try to do, but I think he just had it, and I didn't really have a choice. So he's got some sort of weird half guard here. I'm just trying to focus on pressure, but I knew he was tossing me around. He's a purple belt, and he's a lot better than me, so what he wants me to do, I end up doing, basically. See, so he had what was called a Kimura there, but I didn't let him have it. I did what Danny told me last roll, the last video I got on here, where I twisted my arm in, and that worked very well. So I was going for this triangle choke, and I couldn't quite cut my angle, so I had to reset, and basically he ended up not doing it. We get the buzzer here pretty soon. And then he was like, man, you had that. And I'm like, I didn't. So when you do the triangle choke, which is where the leg's there, you got to cut your angle to where you can see down their ear. And I was trying to pull his other arm, and the dude's so strong. It just felt like I couldn't really get very far with that. I felt like if I couldn't move it with my leg, how was I moving it with my arms, you know? So that's that. So see, now my heart rate's going up to 170 and everything like that, but I kept it around 150 most of that time. So that's pretty good, especially against a really house dude like Angel. And yeah, we're basically talking, he's got shorter legs, so he doesn't really like the triangle chokes that much. But when a guy like him does get them, because there's no space, it's so tight. But a guy like me, I like triangle chokes. I got big long legs, and I can cinch them in really good, usually. But again, you got a really stout guy like Angel. He's got a lot of muscle. It's hard to break his posture. Well, that's that roll, everybody, and good morning. Get out there and get after it, all right?